You'd think this would be non-controversial in a country where you're allowed to smoke meth in a park. Kids are encouraged to smoke weed. But it's very controversial because unlike meth and weed and crack, tobacco is bad. Several members of the Capitol Press Gallery are horrified by this, and they're complaining. So you have to kind of wonder, why is tobacco so dangerous? Well, we thought we would ask a member of Congress who uses it, who smokes an occasional cigar. Troy Nehls joins us tonight. Congressman, grateful that you're here, willing to stand up for the most American of all pleasures, which is tobacco. Sorry to say it, it's true. It founded the country.
Okay, so there's a lot of making up fake arguments that we're gonna dissect, but he introduced that guy Troy Nehls as some sort of expert on the long-term health impacts of smoking because he likes cigars, and that might lead you to believe that the segment is going to be ridiculous. Yeah, pretty much. Take a look at how it continued.
This is typical from the left. They want to infringe on our rights. They want to complain about our smoke. They're probably complaining about maybe my aftershave or the color of my tie. It doesn't end.
But if you were smoking weed or meth, no one would say anything. What is it about tobacco, which was a religious sacrament for the American Indians, for all the Mesoamerican Indians? What is it about tobacco that triggers them so profoundly, do you think?
I don't know. Maybe they've never tried one, but you look at a nice Ashton cigar. It's a beautiful cigar. It's mild, mate arteria fuento. It's a great cigar. Try one.
Oh, I have. Congressman Troy Nehls, striking a blow for freedom. That is the smell of freedom. We appreciate your coming on tonight and standing up for Americanism.
Thank you. God bless.
Great to see you.
Yes, everything about that was so natural. The fake lighting of the cigar, the fake laugh in response to it, the whole thing was just like their hearts weren't even in it. They were way more into demonizing the new M&M packaging. But this thing about, so what is this actually about? They're letting you smoke in the Capitol again. Because apparently, like, they know that they're gonna have the metaphoric smoke-filled back rooms. Now they want them to actually be filled with smoke as they organize to deliver for their donors. And it's supposed to be like anti-American, Danielle, I guess, to point out that there is very obvious health ramifications of smoking, including secondhand smoke. I don't know. What do you think?
This has to be one of the dumbest segments I think that I've ever seen Tucker Carlson do, and that is like saying a lot. One, what's the big deal with tobacco? Oh, I don't know. Ask the tobacco industry that was sued back in the 90s because, their own doctor said that tobacco causes cancer, as we know about secondhand smoke as well. But yes, let Republicans show you the real things that they're fighting for in this country, which is your ability to get cancer and die. So if that's the cross that they want to die on, by all means. Again, I don't know what park you're allowed to smoke meth in this country, because that's not a real thing. And we have seen the legalization of marijuana and the decriminalization thereof, because guess what? Doctors have also said that there are many benefits to the use of marijuana, and that no, it is not the gateway drug that people thought that it was. But again, let's not let the truth get in the way of a good lie, because otherwise Fox News wouldn't be able to exist.
100%, yeah. Look, if you're conservative and you're watching this, like, I know that you loved everything that Tucker Carlson said, but like, doesn't it seem a little bit weird that he had to lie to make his, who is saying you're freely available to smoke meth in a park, or that we're encouraging kids to, like, the laws that have legalized marijuana have literally banned kids from smoking marijuana. So if he is, do you believe that he doesn't understand that? Because if he does, then it's weird that he would lie about it and say that they're encouraging. Again, the left, or whoever it is that he's demonizing, is for people having opportunities to do these things insofar as they do not harm other people. And the argument against smoking in a place like that is that it harms other people. That's not difficult to understand. I think that Tucker Carlson is doing this segment, and Troy Nehls is joining it for like at least 3 reasons. One is that despite the fact that all of these right-wing men that love to talk about being alpha males talk about them as if they should be independent thinkers, they all have to have the exact same likes, and every single one of them has to pretend to like cigars for some reason. I don't know why. It seems weird to be a sheep in that way, but they all pretend it. So they have to imply that cigars are great or whatever. The other, of course, is grievance mongering. So they're coming for your stoves, they're coming for your, I don't know, your Keurigs, their shoes, I don't know. They're coming for everything. So you should always be afraid. This is an easy way to do that. And then the other one, and this is where maybe I get into a little bit more conspiratorial territory, but Tucker Carlson for the last couple of years has really been into trying to get his audience killed. He spent years trying to get them to contract COVID needlessly. Maybe he's maxed out that effect on his audience. And now he's encouraging them to develop lung cancer. It's a weird way to interact with your audience, but the dude sure seems to want them to take more risks with their health. I will point out, if we can just jump ahead, you know what? I'm gonna give Renee some credit. In graphic number 2, dying a horrible death to own the libs is funny, but this is not controversial. Again, a guy like Tucker Carlson with a full crew and staff who could do research for him could figure out what's true and what's not about cigarettes. Cigarette smoking causes more than 480,000 deaths every year in the CDC. That's 1 in 5 of all of the deaths. According to the CDC, if you trust them, I guess if you watch Tucker Carlson, you don't. Smoking causes more deaths every year than HIV, illegal drug use, alcohol, motor vehicle injuries, and firearm-related incidents combined. And more than 10 times as many US citizens have died prematurely from cigarette smoking than have died in every one of the wars the US has ever fought in combined. And yet, we're supposed to pretend that none of that is true. Who is to say if this is healthy or not? He has a stranglehold over the brain of his audience, and they will trust him on anything, even if it ends up drastically reducing the length of their life, Danielle. It's a weird thing. I don't think I can get members of my audience to jump off of a bridge. I am glad that he has thus far not asked his audience to jump off of a bridge.
You know, funny thing though, at the end of what you just said, and I don't think it's a conspiracy theory, because Tucker Carlson on Fox News has lost a lot of sponsors, people who don't want to be associated with his show, but he is the highest rated cable news show, which is depressing to say the least. But I wonder who he's getting his funding from, right? Like if now Tucker Carlson's new thing is to be pumping out, what's wrong with tobacco, where's his money coming from, right? And so, and where is the desire for him to want to put out that misinformation? But you're right, from COVID to now, potentially lung cancer, he is not above it. So again, I always tell people follow the money, because that really will show you where people's incentive lies.
100%. Yeah, and I see people in the chat talking about not wanting to ban cigarettes. Again, this isn't about banning you doing it. It's limiting some of the places you can do it. By the way, I think that it's one of the dumbest, craziest things in American politics is that marijuana is illegal. But that doesn't mean I think you should be able to do it literally anywhere you want. I think you can have regulations on that. I think you should be allowed to ride a motorcycle. I don't think you should be able to do it inside of a Walmart. We can have limitations on where something is done, and I think that that's reasonable. Anyway, it does sound kind of fun. And a Walmart is a pretty big open spot, so maybe that would be safe.